When it comes to buying and selling livestock, trust is everything. At Hired Hand Live, we have a platform that breeders and buyers rely on, whether participating in a live auction, an internet-only event, or hosting their own online auction. Our secure, user-friendly system ensures that your bid counts, and every transaction is backed by our commitment to integrity.
Whether you're a part of a consignment sale or planning your own internet auction, Hired Hand Live connects breeders and buyers live and online. Discover why breeders trust us with their livestock auctions. Visit hiredhandlive.com today. Hi there, I'm Molly.
And I'm Jaymie, and this is our From the Pasture with Hired Hand podcast.
For 15 years now, we've been proudly helping breeders promote hundreds of thousands of pedigree livestock with our easy-to-use animal management-driven website software.
And let's not forget about Hired Hand Live, where over $1 million worth of livestock is sold online each year.
We're excited to bring you market trends, sales data, advice from your fellow breeders, and stories from the ranch.
Our software makes managing your website and your animals a breeze, so you can focus on what you love.
So let us handle your digital chores while you tune in to another episode of From the Pasture with Hired Hand.
Welcome to this preseason episode of From the Pasture with Hired Hand. Today we're talking about the upcoming Legacy Sale, where top consignments are coming from pastures all across the country. Our guest and sale host, Chase Vasut, will give us an inside look at the cattle and other details for the weekend. Be sure to visit hiredhandlive.com, where you can view all the consignments, get detailed information, and place your bids. You can also check out consignor websites powered by Hired Hand to learn more about their programs. If you're excited to hear about the outstanding Longhorns heading to the sale ring, stay tuned. We've got the full rundown. Oh, hi, Chase.
Hey, Jaymie. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. So you have a big sale coming up. It's the 20th anniversary of the Legacy Sale this year.
Yes, we do. The biggest one we've ever done.
Out of the last, I don't even know how many years that you've been involved with the Legacy Sale, or even beyond that, do you have any stories from any of those past sales that you'd like to share?
I've got a lot of stories. This is going to be this is my 10-year anniversary doing Legacy. So I'll have done half of them, which is awesome. I know y'all like to keep like a PG rating on the Spotify and all that. So some of those stories I can't tell, but man, the cow in the kitchen, we'll have to go with that. It's probably one of my favorite memories. She, fine in the ring, went out. She actually broke welds on a panel and wound up in the kitchen of the hotel. It was only about 10 seconds. That was a fun one.
It's still enough to make your stomach drop to the floor and go into complete panic mode, I'm sure.
Oh, see, I ran out and locked the doors, so I was fine. Everybody else, but no, there's still a dent in the hotel. We still have a laugh about the ice maker she decided she didn't like, but luckily we had a good crew in the back. They got her roped in. Obviously seeing some of these cows, 3S Danica set a record at the time at 380,000, and just so many of these, your native beauties, your like your Danica that have just sold as young calves have made their way to be some of the breed greats.
Yeah, I remember when 3S Danica sold, I was sitting at the table behind Meredith's, and nobody could figure out who was bidding against them until the very end. Then all of a sudden, Mike Davis stood up, and everyone was kind of shocked, and I don't think many people really knew who he was at that point in time. So he definitely made his splash in the industry then.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he did. He's probably the most well-known contending bidder in the world, in our world at least. And then as it falls down, he wound up actually owning Danica, and he's had a lot of success with her.
Yeah.
Just great times with a lot of great people. It's always a fun sale.
Yep. Yeah, and like you said, there's lots of stories that are probably not equipped for a podcast.
Yeah,
but maybe
absolutely. I'm not big on research and all that. I know Legacy 2, it did $2.2 million, and I think in 23 beat that by like 700,000. So there's a lot of sales that come really close, but for one to consistently do it under 3 forms of, ownership of the sale, it's a real special sale to me, and I think the industry.
And I know we've had lots of new people coming into the industry lately. When you say 3 different ownerships of the sale,
yes.
Who are those 3 different people?
So it started out with Bill Hudson and Joe Valentine. both pioneers in our breed, obviously have a lot invested into their herds and into this industry and wanted an avenue to let that investment shine. So they started it, ran it great. Like I said, Legacy 2, I think that might have been the one that was televised. It did over $2 million at the time. And just year after year had some of the greatest cows in our breed sell. I think it was right around Legacy 8, 9. The TLMA acquired it from Bill and Joe, ran it for a number of years, and then now the Legacy Group is the proprietor or the runner of the Legacy sale. So, and each step, try to remain the heritage and the coolness of the sale.
So how do you think this sale has evolved since either the beginning of time or since you've been involved with it over the last 10 years?
We try to make it more and more fun. And that's really the only thing we can control. We can't control, the market on beef cows, the market on these, the political environment, the worldly environment. So with the Legacy Group taking over, our goal is each year to have more fun, have a successful event, and everything else will fall into place. I think the evolution of it is it's opened the doors when Bill and Joe had it to have more of these, an event. It's a social event that has a cow sale and a really good cow sale. So, Bill's done a great job with the Stockyard sale, the Glendennings with their sale, is it really brought the entertainment into. It's not just, show up, buy cows, go home. So it's been cool to see the evolution of that. And we all kind of kid each other to, who's going to do the band or who's going to do this. And we've got some really special stuff this year. I can't say, you'll have to see it there, but seeing that evolve and just more of the fun, and that's what makes it special.
Well, and when the Legacy sale originally started, it was in a ballroom as well, correct? So that's always been its home.
Yeah,
as a ballroom.
Yeah. Ballroom. We moved from hotel to hotel. Now this is, I think, going to be the 10th year as well at the Embassy Suites, right there in Grapevine. It's close to the airport. But the staff there is great. I'll go up a few times a year just to visit with them. Great people. They love the cows there. So, which is really rare with the hotel environment to stay somewhere that long. But they even renovated their hotel a few years ago, and they have Longhorns everywhere because of it. But yeah, it's always been in a ballroom, whether it's been various hotels around the area. But yeah, our 10th year at Embassy as well.
So how do you, because this sale's been going on for so long, and it's such a prominent sale in the industry, how do you think it annually impacts the industry, both maybe locally there in Texas, but then also on a national level?
As far as the market for our industry, it's really the first big sale that we have. So that's always the coolest part, and the worst part about Legacy is it's first. So I think what it does is kind of set the tone throughout the year of, this is kind of the standard of what we think cattle are doing. Obviously this year, Josh and the TLBAA did a phenomenal job with the Eddie Wood sale, which has really excited everybody. So, locally we get a lot of new breeders in. I think nationally people kind of use it as a reference to the value of their, what they believe is their elite cattle. But, we've had the mayor of Grapevine come in and declare it Longhorn Day. And nationally we have breeders from Oregon coming all the way down from Pennsylvania. So it's really cool to see. And it's a task we don't take lightly. We know it's a big responsibility to promote and put these cows in front of the people that can give them good homes.
I know you've mentioned previous years a couple of times. Should we talk more about last year, which is a little bit more recent for people? Do you remember the total in sales last year? Because I think last year was a big year too.
I don't.
Okay.
To be honest,
we'll skip that.
It was a really good sale. I think it did around a $15,000 average. It grossed over $1 million. Like I tell people, I start working on the next year's Legacy Saturday night after the last cow walks through the rooms. It was a very fun time. We had the bull riding. A lot of drinks were served. Neil McCoy played. So it was a really fun time last year. So stepping it up this year was a.
If I remember right, last year there was over 45 animals in the sale that were cash cows.
Yes,
which is pretty cool.
Yeah, there were a lot of them, which is very fun.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to this year's sale, and we'll start with Thursday. What do you got going on that day?
So Thursday, cattle will be checking in. we have Donnie Taylor working our back crew. So that's all day, and never fails with Legacy. Sometimes it's freezing, sometimes it's hot, sometimes we have tornadoes. So Thursday's the day of check-in. We keep an eye on the weather. So if something crazy's coming in, we'll call. But as Ricky McLeod said, he said, they're cows, they live outside, and that's Ricky. But then moving on to Thursday night, we have the welcome party, which is sponsored by Mac and Andrea at Siller Land and Longhorns. I want to do some Texas theme. They're transplant Texans. They have a ranch here, but so talking with Andrea, we were doing Armadillo Races. It's the state mammal, reptile, one of those of the great state of Texas. So Thursday night we'll have the drinks, we'll have some music playing. Everybody kind of gives them time to socialize, and then the Armadillo Races kick off. So is it the actual creature armadillo, or are people dressing in armadillo costumes and racing? I'm glad you asked that, because the answer is yes. They are the real armadillos. This is the thing. Okay. They have a little track that they run around, high stakes, of course. But there seems to be a Facebook controversy going on. We do have a life-size armadillo costume somebody is going to wear. So we've heard Ann Gravett, the Anadillo. It could be me. Andrea Siller might wear it, but it is in possession. But it'll be a fun time, just something to kind of socialize and take funny pictures with.
Nice. Well, it sounds like fun. Last year's, what did you have last year? Bull riding last year. That was fun to watch. So
yep, the mechanical bull. Everybody signed their liability waiver. Nobody got hurt. And, last year our welcome party sponsors were the Shigodas. Barb will be in the maternity ward at that point, ready to have their little baby boy, I think. Yeah. So Mag and Andrea stepped up and said, we want to do it, have fun. And so a lot of people stepped up this year, and it's going to be a blast.
Well, cool. Well, I look forward to seeing who gets to put on the costume.
It might be you. We don't know. It's up in the air.
Might not be, too. Never know.
They're a peaceful creature.
Yeah. Okay, so that's Thursday. How about Friday?
So Friday, moving through, we kind of started this a few years ago with the animals consigned to the heifer sale. We're doing a futurity. So that's going to be at noon. We have 5 judges this year. All the animals that are in the sale are going to be competing. One class, and at the end, we'll announce Saturday after the sale who won. Cold Copper Cattle sponsored the futurity this year. We got some awesome crystal custom trophies. So that's at noon, and then we're going to kick off at 5:30 with the Black Tie Heifer Sale. So that's the only change we made this year. Legacy used to be, as you know, Jaymie, it was head-to-toe tuxedos. And I'm going to throw them under the bus in front of God and everybody on this podcast. It was Dan Grove's idea. If you go back 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, everybody's Christmas card was at the Legacy sale. We had a backdrop, all that. Dan loved getting dressed. He blamed Christy. So, we used to love getting dressed up. So we figured for the 20th anniversary, let's spice it up. We got a backdrop, photographers. So if you want to wear a tuxedo, I'm going to be in one. We're not going to kick you out if you don't show up in one, but it's something special to dress fancy just for Friday night. I wear Crocs and Hey Dudes 99% of the time. So I tell people, if I can do it for 3 hours, you can do it. It's going to be fun. We'll all look fancy and have some beautiful heifers to bid on.
Yeah, people definitely used to go all out for the black tie sale at the Legacy sale years ago. I mean, full-on ball gowns some of the people wore. So it was fun. It's
welcome to it. I mean, Carly has sent me 10 million text messages of what of this dress, what of that dress, and I just know they will be hard pressed to be dressed anybody dressed fancier than me, because it's special.
Okay, well, I guess we can't wait to see that too. That's 2 things for the weekend that we're looking forward to: the armadillo costume and your tux.
Yep.
All right, so that's the 5:30 on Saturday is the sale, the heifer sale. If people have questions about anything, they contact you, and who else?
Yeah, so if a question for any of the cattle handling stuff is going to be Donnie Taylor. This is his 10th year with us as well doing it. If you have any questions on consignments, measurements, updates, anything like that, I'll be around. Jaymie, I'll volunteer you as well. If you need videos, anything like that. Joe Sidlogic will be there working the office with Dan Huntington and Ann Gravett. So we're all available. So whatever information you need, be sure to contact us.
Okay. And then I know that there's people at every sale that will be willing to haul, but do you know of anybody ahead of time that is definitely hauling?
Yes. So I know Dan Grove is booked going back. We've got Wes Clark will be there. Cody James will be there. Joe will be down. Alex Dees has said she'll have empty space going back towards Oregon. Back up through Kansas. Mark Gilliland always offers. So we will have haulers available. I do ask if you plan on buying, since we have the animals on site there, reach out to one of us ahead of time and we'll at least get you lined up. We've never left a cow there, but we want to make sure that at least we have a tentative idea of where cattle could be headed.
As we know, you can't have a Longhorn sale without having sponsors.
Yes.
They're a key part to, every weekend that we have. You want to talk about some of your sponsors this year?
Absolutely. And like you said, it's not possible without them. We mentioned Mac and Andrea earlier with our welcome party. We have bar sponsors, which some might argue are some of the most important sponsors at the sales. We have Wayne and Joanna Manning with M7 Longhorns and Tom and Amy Buxton are your Friday and Saturday bar sponsors. Lisa Lubering is sponsoring the Cow Patty Bingo, which is cool because what we do there is, you buy your squares and instead of giving away, a gun or anything, we give you the opportunity to either have a $2,000 credit towards sale. So you got $3,000 to spend, or a vendor credit. We have some awesome vendors out there, or a Bass Pro gift card. So you get $1,500 for the vendors, $2,000 towards the sale if you win. And then various sponsors, Hudson Longhorns. It's a Hudson Sales now. Our hay sponsors this year, Rex and Sharice Glendenning. So we try to all work together, and then I think there's 26 others. These are sales sponsors that have 2 consignments and those who wanted to, get tables and do other stuff. But they're huge supporters of us this year, and we're just thankful for each and every one of them.
Yeah, and I think you guys have a picture of all of the sponsors at the beginning of the Legacy catalog. So if people want to go check out who they are and say thanks or talk to them,
yeah, absolutely,
they'll be able to put a face with the name.
Absolutely. They're there, and we'll have signs up for each and every one of them. But I do, if you're there and you have a fun time, thank them because we couldn't do it without our sponsors.
So let's move on to the consigners. Mm-hmm. If I counted correctly, I believe there are 64, and I know there's probably some partnerships and stuff in there, but that's a good amount of consigners for the year.
It is. We've got, it's 30, 31, and 57, so 88 head. So a lot of single consigners, which is a great thing. It takes a long time to pick out a legacy consignment. And as mentioned earlier, we've got them from Oregon to Pennsylvania, all over the map. So it's a great group of people that are bringing we say it every year, but I don't think it can get any better. This is an insane lineup.
I forget how many, you just said 80 some consignments. I just looked, and I believe every single consignment already has a bid. So that's
on Hired Hand Live.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of excitement there, and some good. I know there's a few now that they've passed into the cash cow range, but it's just it's more of just asking. It's kind of a partnership we develop with consigners. These are cows that it's their best cow, and a lot of them that are in the sale. The first time I asked, the answer was hell no. Took some finessing and finally working, but it's the best of the best, and they really stepped up this year. There's some amazing females.
Is there certain criteria that you look for in the animals when, I guess, accepting consignments for the sale?
The wow factor. Right, when you see a cow, you just say wow, and that varies from ranch to ranch. They're like myself. I've got some cows that, and I run the sale have for years. It's not none of my cows I would put in there because I don't think that they meet that. I mean, it's horn, it's production, it's age, it's main thing. We want that full figure, full body cow that carries all the things, but. That being said, there's ranches, they have 4 or 5 cows and it's their very best. And that's all we ask for. If you bring us your very best, you've done all we can ask of a consignor.
Are there any newbies to the sale this year?
There are. So we have Rock and RB. Sorry about that. They're newbies this year. This is Mac and Andrea Siller's first legacy consignment, I believe. They've bought a few and are in there. I'm trying to think of who else we have as newbies.
What about Kim Bays?
She had consigned last year. She is a newer consigner. This is her second go round with Legacy Sale. Trying trying to think who else is new. We've got a few of the longtime supporters, with Bentwood. The Tewksbury's, Crown Creek, it's their first go-around. We have Patrick Hengler with 1886 Cattle Company. Blake and Elise Fanning, it's their first legacy consignment. I think that's it.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Do you sometimes feel like you're the only one who doesn't have it all figured out? Rural life can be isolating, but it doesn't have to be.
Welcome to Ag's Most Okayest Farm Girls, the podcast for women who are craving connection, laughter, solidarity, camaraderie, and just overall encouragement in your everyday life and dreams.
Each week, your hosts, Annalise, that's me, and Courtney will cover topics such as farm life, mom life, making money online, side hustles, hobbies, sharing on social media, jobs off the farm, and so much more.
Us rural gals need to stick together, so saddle up for some fun, real, and unsolicited advice and stories from our everyday farm lives.
Grab a drink, we're Ag's Most Okayest Farm Girls, and we're here to help. Listen wherever you find podcasts.
Looking for top quality Longhorns and a taste of true Texas spirit? Look no further than Cantera Cattle Company. Our passion for Longhorns shines at Old Gringo Ranch, where tradition meets excellence. Visit us online at CanteraCattleCompany.com and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok for the latest updates and ranch life fun. Ready to experience it yourself? Schedule your visit by emailing canteracattle@gmail.com. Remember, God is great, Longhorns are good, and life is crazy.
Are you a new Longhorn breeder eager to educate yourself on market trends and sale prices? Stay in the loop with our text messages. Get the latest updates, events, and insider tips on all things Longhorns delivered straight to your phone.
Stay informed by texting website to 888-700-8131, then reply with Longhorns. That's website to 888-700-8131. Sign up today and take your breeding program to the next level. Okay, so let's move on to the Saturday portion of the legacy sale. What time do things start on Saturday?
So on Saturday, we're starting. It's cattle viewing all day. We ask people to take a look at the vendors. We got Superior Outdoors, or Superior Outfitters is going to be there. We have custom tumblers going to be there. We have a lady who's very excited, does some really cool leather work. So it's going to be a lot of fun there. And then at 3 o'clock, we're kicking off with the cow sale. So we'll do the cow sale, and at the conclusion of that, we'll do the futurity result.
And then on Saturday night, I believe everyone usually just mingles and gathers in the restaurant at the hotel, correct?
Yeah,
people that are
absolutely. And for those who haven't been there, if this is your first time coming, I know we have a lot of new first timers. It's all on site. So you come off the elevator at the Embassy Suites and you walk maybe 30 yards and you're in the ballroom where we do the sale. So the hotel has a restaurant, has swimming pool, workout facilities. The cows are out there. So we basically take over the hotel for the weekend. So there's always in the bar, the restaurant, people hanging out. Saturday, normally after, that's when they'll close the bar for us and we can all go in. They play music. It's a fun time.
All right, let's talk about the consignments. There are, is it 31 heifers, 57 cows?
Yep.
Something like that?
Yep.
Okay. So are there any scratches that you know of right now?
We have one scratch as of right now, and she is going to be in the Friday night sale. I believe she is lot 22. Yeah, 22 is J&J Black Diamond. She's a scratch. Won't be there. And then on the Saturday sale, we only have right now one sub, and that's going to be lot 9, BCR Fair Game from Bull Creek Longhorns. And pay attention to this one. It's, Suzanne and Bill, they've been great supporters of Legacy, great supporters of our industry. And this sublot that they're bringing is one that a lot of people have tried to get from them, but she never wanted to sell and said, you know what, if I'm bringing a sub, might as well. And she's a dandy.
Well, you have a few other special lots in the sale as well. I think there's 3 different choice lots.
Yes, we have some embryo lots. The first one, it's going to be the Randolphs. Well, not chronologically, but I'll talk about, is out of their high heels cow and HL Django. So they have 3 calves that are on the ground. We're going to sell choice there. And what the Randolphs are going to do is at weaning, you get to come out and pick. They're alive and well now. I think they were born in December. So at weaning time, you can come pick. So you get your pick of the bunch. We have Kraft Ranch is doing an MC Hanging Tough Rex's Red Rose embryo. Those are due in like 3 days. So again, at weaning, you'll get to pick, and then a few other embryo lots that are involving heifers that you get there.
I think the other choice lot is lot 20 from New Age.
Yes, this is a special one. So, and I'm glad you brought that up. So Randy at New Age Cattle, it's hard for him to pick. They've got a lot of nice cows. So what he's doing is out of any calf born on the ranch at 2025, you get picked. So the end of the year, I mean, he's got 100-inch cows, twisty-inch cows, out of 100-inch bulls. So out of the entire 2025 calf crop, you get to pick a calf. Bull, heifer, nothing's off limits. So that's really, really cool.
Yeah, it is.
And I don't know how many head that are down, hundreds, but it's going to be fun.
And then another choice lot is lot 45 from Chris Clark.
Yep, the Rebel Native Beauty. So we've got two of them that your buyer's choice. We'll have them up on the screen there too. So it's going to be pretty special.
And you mentioned Kraft's embryo lot, and I think there's a couple other embryo lots, lot 44.
Yep, 44, that's out of Sharp Kelly Girl. She's in the upper 90s in the 100-inch Jungle Gym. So that's a guaranteed heifer. You get a calf there. And then same at the end, lot 57, RC Everclear and HL Heads Up is a heifer calf.
So I think it was the end of last year sometime. I had asked you to list like your top favorites from the sale, and you didn't want to do that. So you suggested that we play catalog roulette. So I'm going to bring that back, and we're going to play a little catalog roulette today.
Let's do it.
All right. So I'm going to scroll through the catalog here and just randomly stop on a lot. So let's start with lot H2.
H2. Okay, lot H2 is... Okay, and I'm glad we did this because we're going to figure this out now. How do you pronounce her name?
I don't know. That's why I picked it.
Okay, so
I was hoping you knew.
It's A&S. And like every time I see it, I was like, it's Hyacinth. And I'm sure it has something to do with wine or Greek mythology, but it's the picker's consignment. Hyacinth.
I don't know. I was going to look it up because he is in landscaping, so I'm sure it is a flower of some sort.
It could be. See a flower? And while you're looking that up,
I think it is.
Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
She's as pretty as a flower. See, she's a Warlock daughter, so he's in the 90s there, Rio Grande. And talking with Scott, they do the Oregon Trail Sale. I've done a great job, growing that up. So he knows what it takes. And when I called to talk to him, he wanted to be a part of Legacy. He said, here, I got a heifer that I want to do. Here's the entire heifer stock. Pick them out. So he picked his two. I picked my two, and she was one of them. Flat horn, growing out. She's exposed to Real Safari Sun and Top Starlet. And, we like to start off with a bang at Legacy and putting her up at lot 2. She's a pretty one. Said most views on his website. Anytime anybody's out there, that's the one they want. So they get to duke it out on March 14th.
How about we do lot 12, H12?
Coming another Oregon cow. This is CR She Done Did. It's a Gray Eagle daughter that Alex D's consigned. So Gray Eagle, he's a 90-inch son of Gold Mine out of Tough Megan. So again, just another beautiful, Grulia, flat, big-bodied horned heifer. And hats off to them because it is such a hard time of year for our Northeast and Northwest people to consign because they're under snow. These cows have winter coats on, but Alex she normally tries to get there at least every other year, and she brought 2 dandies. This is one of them, and that color is just hard to beat.
How about H17?
H17. Ooh, Native Maiden. So this cow, as we mentioned earlier, it's fun to see the history of Legacy come back. Native Maiden's owned by the Hoosier boys and family, Hoosier gang up there. Her mother, Native Dreams, sold at Legacy, but in the belly of her mother, Native Beauty. So Chris Clark and Lane Craft had bought Native Beauty. Native Dreams was in utero. I think that's what you say. Hoosiers bought it that night. So Native Dreams went on to win everything. Now Native Maiden has been knocking it out of the park in the futurities. Her mother's 100 inches. She's on pace to do it. And out of Eagle, Texas, that's thrown in some really cool genetics there. This is the 3rd or 4th generation Legacy animal right there, just going back to Native Beauty. It's pretty cool to see.
Great. How about H27?
H27. PF Good Luck Charm. That's Poe Folks Farm, Don and Rhonda Poe. Again, I actually was talking to Rhonda at Austin Roar's wedding, and we were kind of joking around about who she was going to consign. And I mentioned this one. That was the first hell no I got. And a couple days later, she's like, you know what? Let's do it. Delta Lucky Ace daughter. He was voted Ultimate Bull. She was over 70 at 28 months and just on track. She could be a 100-inch cow. She had a bull at side by Iron Sniper, who's a sniper's son. I think, Rhonda's raised some good ones, but she says that's the best one. So she should do really well.
And now let's hear from our advertisers.
From the Pasture by Hired Hand is presented by R3 Hilltop Ranch. Located in Chilton, Texas, R3 Hilltop Ranch has been breeding registered Texas Longhorns since 2006. What began as 3 heifers has grown into our current herd, which you can explore on our website at r3hilltop.com. We're passionate about loud colors, longhorns, and docile temperaments, but it's the easy-keeping, low-maintenance traits of Texas Longhorns that initially attracted us and continue to drive our herd growth. In addition to livestock, we proudly offer certified Longhorn beef products. Visit r3hilltop.com/beef to learn more. Thank you for listening and enjoy exploring our ranch online at r3hilltop.com.
Imagine updating your website and managing your animals at the same time without needing tech experience. With Hired Hand software, it's that easy. Our user-friendly platform is designed specifically for breeders, allowing you to keep your site fresh and your animal records up to date in just a few clicks.
Let us simplify your digital chores while you focus on what you do best. Visit hiredhandsoftware.com and see just how easy it can be.
Hey, if you love From the Pasture with Hired Hand, why not go check out my podcast, The Big Iron Podcast with Andrew Shigori, where we dive into the world of registered Texas Longhorns and what it means to be an agriculture entrepreneur in the modern world, with a little southern flair, of course. Find The Big Iron Podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
Okay, let's move on to the cows.
And I got 2.
We'll start.
I will break the rules a little bit. There's 2 I want to talk about. So,
Wow. All right, let's do it.
all these heifers are amazing, but something really cool is Diamond B Ranch this year. Diamond B Longhorns. They've got lot 30. It's DB Fiddles Cassidy. Something really cool about her, other than the fact she's amazing, out of Kid Rock, out of Fiddlesticks. Her mother is also selling. So they wanted to show what this cow could do. So her mother's 100 and something inches selling. So we get to sell daughter one night, mom the next. And then the second one I'll talk about, since we're on to the cow sales, is lot 1, Cool Fifth. That's a daughter of Cool Hand Luke Checks, who's our Spotlight Bull this year. With the Spotlight Bull, this was purchased by the Cool Hand Luke partners. That's Tom and Amy Buxton, Wayne Joanna Manning, Randy Murray, and Bob Loomis. We like to have either a daughter of him or a cow bred to him. Well, Luke is young enough that this is his oldest daughter that he's going to have out there, and it's the first one offered for public auction. So he's going to come into the ring, the smoke and the lights. We'll talk about him. Semen special, only at Legacy on him. If you don't buy it at Legacy, they're never selling it again. But this is the first daughter offered at public auction of the Spotlight Bull. So she's pretty cool.
That's an exciting little twist. I was wondering why there was a little heifer at the beginning of the cow sale. Now it makes sense.
Yep. That's we only had the one, so we asked Wayne and Joanna and Greg, where do you want her? And they said, let's do her Saturday. So pretty cool.
Nice. Okay, well, let's go. How about we'll stop at lot 4.
4. Woo! My buddy Ezra. LTL Catch Me a Cowboy. This is Ezra McLeod, Ricky's son. If you haven't met Ezra, he's awesome. What is he, 12 years old now, and he talks like he's 50 and a Southern lawyer. Loves his cows, loves his pedigree, and he's tougher to deal with than Ricky. It took a while to get him to put her in, but she's going to be a 3-1 heifer calf at side. And an interesting fact at the Eddie Wood sale, AM's Rose's Ruby, her mother sold, and to this point, it's the highest selling cow of the year at, 67,000? Her mother is a 100-inch cow, so she is fancy.
Let's go with lot 16.
16 is going to be Fiddlesticks. So we talked about her. Her daughter's selling the night before. This is a Diamond B Longhorns consignment, one of our sales sponsors this year. They put in some doozies last year, and talking with Colin and Benny, they, again, some of them you just ask, say, hey, it'd be kind of cool to see her there. And they decided, yeah, let's do her. And they wanted to bring a daughter. So she does have a heifer calf at side now by Cut and Dried, who was, I think he sold the most semen at the Horn Showcase. So, yeah, so this is an over 100-inch cow. She's a big girl, heifer at side by a 100-inch, 2,000-pound bull. So she's one of our two. We have a few that are really, really close, but she's one of two confirmed over 100-inchers selling. Okay. 29. Going to our bar sponsors, Tom and Amy Buxton, RH Lady Casanova, the daughter of Cowboy Casanova. We all know he sold for over 100,000. Her mother actually sold in Legacy. That's super nice. One of the coolest swoop horn cows there is. She's in her upper 80s, still rolling out, could hit 90. But the cool part is she's bred to Buck's Golden Eagle. I don't know how many futurities he's won, but he is a monster and going to be one of the elite sires in our breed. So this is your chance to get in on the ground level with, I think they just had, this might be part of his first calf crop coming. But yeah, she's a very special cow as well.
Next one is lot 35.
35, Mike and Tracy Young. We all saw the Longhorn Friends post. She's a very fancy cow. Mike likes to be creative in his promotion. But why our Rambling Queen? Just a good, solid producer from him. She's into the 90-inch mark right there. They know, coming down from Michigan, it's like, hey, we got to bring a good one for it to make sense. And she's produced really, really well for him. And she should be bred to Roscoe. She's exposed right there, but she's given almost all heifers. So those Roscoe offspring have knocked it out of the park. So it's a really, really nice offering there from Mike and Tracy.
How about lot 41?
41, a really, really cool cow from our buddy Wade up in Utah/Nevada. Wade Wagner, formal cowgirl. She's a formal attire daughter. Randy's had great success selling those daughters, and they exhibit a ton of twists. So she's phenomenal. I don't know what day it'll be for his Facebook post at Legacy. I think we're at like 4,000 something, but they did have her AI to Rebel HR, the sire of the $700,000 Rosette. So again, all the way from Utah, tons of cool twists and just a beautiful, beautiful cow.
All right, we'll do one more. How about lot 56?
Hicks Safari Dove. So here's Johnny and Missy Hicks, great breeders, and it's almost all homegrown, the stuff they do. This cow was actually consigned to the Legacy last year, and Johnny got a new job working at John Deere, and they couldn't make the logistics work out. So I talked to him and said, well, why don't we put her in again this year? She had a lot of excitement around her. So yeah, Safari Dove, she's a daughter of Hydro. He was face of the Horn Showcase, rolling and twisting out. So it's the first cow to be consigned to Legacy 2 years in a row by the same owner. But she is phenomenal. I know it was hard for Johnny to let go of her.
Well, that's the end of my roulette game, unless you want to keep, I guess we could keep going if you want, or we could talk about what happens on Sunday.
Well, there's just a lot of fun stuff. A lot of good cows. Like I said, each and every one of these we've talked individually about. So I could go on. We could have a 12-hour podcast on them. Really, the only other lot I think worth mentioning that didn't make it into the catalog, we've got two of them. One will be selling a donation heifer for the Heritage Foundation. We're going to be getting all that info. Should be on Hired Hand next couple of weeks whenever we get it. And then Saturday, we're selling a Kimber pistol, which made in America. Gotta love it. They're some of the prettiest pistols made. But again, Austin Rohr set us up, and he's done a custom run of Legacy Series pistols. Normally, there's 200 of them. Normally, number one is kept by the manufacturer just because they like to have it if they do it. We got our hands on number one. So you got the opportunity to buy number one of 200. These guns will never be made again. It's a really cool collector's piece. Kind of get that patinaed look to it. So we know there's gun lovers here and collectors. So that's a really cool lot as well. That didn't make the catalog.
And it's online, and it's up to 2,100 so far. So it's off to a good start.
That's good. Yeah, I think to have these guns run and all that, he'll have some for sale. They're still working but the machine, just the machine alone to make them is a $2 million machine. So these are high dollar collector pistols. So you can order some there at the sale, but nobody will ever have number one except who buys it.
And then on Sunday, all the animals need to be out by 10 a.m.
Yep. Yeah.
Right.
So as always, if you buy Friday, you buy Saturday, you want to load out, Donnie and his crew will be there to help. But yeah, we need them out by 10 because as mentioned, it's in a ballroom and we got a lot of cleanup to do after. So, if you're leaving early or anything like that, just get with Donnie and we'll make sure that we accommodate you.
All right. One last thing for you. A little round of what I called Fast Five. So I'm going to mention a category of animals and you pick an animal out of the sale that we haven't already talked about.
Okay. I think I'm following.
Okay. So a black and white animal.
Okay. Now I get it. Okay. So we want to do a black and white animal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I think one of our only black and whites was subbed. I mean, there's a lot that have black in them. Do we have a true black and white? Is the question.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, we do. We got two. We'll go in the heifer sale. And I'll give him props to our buddy Jay walked her. He's got Sunhaven Double Sweet. She's lot H20, a double barrel daughter. He sent me a photo of her yesterday, and she is cooking it. Just beautiful. Jay clips them up, brings them in good shape. But yeah, black and white. And then we also have Mark Hubble. I'm going to sneak in a 20 gauge daughter, Hubble's Heartache, lot 4. She's a black and white too. And, Mark's no stranger to bringing awesome cows to town.
All right. How about Twist?
Well, we talked about one with the twist with Wade's. I'm going to go to a T. So that's lot 12. Blake and Elise Fanning put her in. So this is their first legacy consignment ever, and this is a dandy. She's twisted out. It's hard to tell in the photo, but she goes back. She should be real close, not at 90 inches, 4 years old. They did a really cool ad kind of comparing her to some of these 100-inch cows, and she's right up there with them, if not beating most. Over 88.5 inches at just 4 years and 3 months, but it's a very special cow to them. In their family photos that they took, this cow was in the background, so that gives you an idea of what they think of her, and I just can't wait for people to see her. She's a beauty.
All right. How about a red and white cow or heifer?
Red and white. We go to a new Colton Creek cattle. I forgot about Austin Crane. He's a new consignor this year. So since we didn't give him a shout out there, I'll do this. He's got a HL Pretty Passionate in the sale. She's over the 90-inch mark right there. We'll get an updated measurement before the sale. But he had actually purchased her, Vindicator daughter. He's dead and gone. There'll be no more. And she's bred to Leonardo, who's 87 inches at 4 years old. She's 92.5 inches. Real pretty twist, Hudson bred, in his first legacy consignment ever.
Nice. Next is Brindle.
Brindle. Okay. We got a lot of Brindles. I got so many. I really want to talk about Cut and Royal Gal with Mark Gilliland. She is just setting the pace for what could be one of the youngest 100-inchers to hit there. I think there'll be a podcast or an e-blast out at the time of this podcast airing, but she was 90 inches at 3.7 years. I still don't know what 0.7 of a year is, but Mark's very analytical. So she's into her 90s before 4. And I mean, brindled up head to toe. Her dad's 100 inches. Her mom's 97. And she's brindle spotted head to toe. Trying to figure there's a lot more. BL Siska, DH Rowdy's Dixie. I hope I don't offend anybody not talking, but there's just so many good cows. I'm scrolling and stopping.
All right, and the last one is True Black.
We've had this conversation. Okay, so I need to phone a friend with Joe Sidlacek. To me, if a cow is black, she's black. I don't know what a true black is. As a pedigree reader and a fellow Longhorn, I'm sure I'll get shunned for this. Like, I've seen cows, I'm like, oh, that's a real pretty red. No, she's true black. So what is it?
Take a stab at it. We'll see what Joe says.
I'm going to get chastised. The only thing I know is true black. I know Titan Pace is just ready to start typing a Facebook post to me on true black. I'm going to take the safe bet because I think Grulia is true black. Maybe, right?
I'm going to go with whatever you say, Chase. And then we'll deal with Joe and Titan at a later date.
Yeah. I think Grulia is considered true black. If not, it is right now. And PCC Fashion Doll that the Pace is consigned. She's a 50-50 daughter out of WF Dumpling. Well, no. See, now in her comments it says she's a stunning Grulia color. She's a nice cow, not true black. Not what we're looking for. Good Lord.
You know, I just did a quick Control F, and true black doesn't. There's a couple daughters of a true black in the sale, H22, which I think we already talked about.
Yeah.
And actually, one of the 3 heifer calves from Lonesome Pine is
Randall.
as well.
Yeah. See, so the problem here lies in with the question asked, not so much my answer.
Yeah, I know. That's my fault. Well, you got to fast forward this time.
Okay, so instead of a true black, I'll talk about another brindle that I really wanted to talk about.
Okay, go ahead.
Since we don't have any true blacks. But John King has he sold some really nice ones, but this Lady Luck here, she's lot 6 in the cow sale. She is brindle, which I guess is a form of true black. But I mean, he, like I said, he's brought a lot of bell ringers to the legacy sale, and this one's no exception right here. He measured her the other day. She was 98.5 inches, and we talked about that complete cow. We want one with a lot of horn that can produce. She has a daughter at home that was 72 inches at 28 months, and I know it was a hard one. John is a true small breeder. He doesn't have 100 cows running around, and he's real selective. I know this was a hard one for him to consign, and I think she deserves a shout out as a true black / brindle / awesome cow.
Here we go. Well, is there anything that we have not talked about that you want to mention?
Well, no. I mean, I'm just lucky to be doing this. The legacy group with Debbie Bowman, Mike Casey, Lane Craft, and Ann Gravitt. The only thing we ask is if you come, you just got to have fun. So there's a lot of things we can't control in this world, but we want everybody to have a fun time. Take advantage of coming to see some of the best cows we have under one roof. The Spotlight Bull, again, it's exclusive legacy semen purchase. That Sunday, Semen's no more. Dress up as fancy as you can Friday, have some drinks, fun with legacy friends, and, as always, if you're not going to be there, tune in to Hired Hand Live.
All right, well, thanks for joining us. We can't wait to see which consignments will be moving on to different pastures after the legacy sale. Make sure to check out the consignments ahead of the sale day and follow us for more updates. Until next time.